What up, guys? It's boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Friday, April 27th, 2018, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for the Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. The Pennsylvania jury found actor and comedian Bill Cosby guilty of charges he drugged and sexually assaulted a woman in 2004. The jury convicted him on all 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault after 14 hours of deliberation. Andrea Constant, the former women's basketball team manager at Cosby's alma mater, Temple University, said the actor gave her pills to help her relax while the two were alone at her Atkins Park, Pennsylvania house. She said she became drowsy and unable to move, at which point Cosby touched her and forced her to touch him inappropriately. Cosby faces up to 10 years in prison for each count, each of which could be served concurrently. Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin Steele praised his prosecution team as well as the jury for its verdict. He says money and power, or who you are, will not stop us from a criminal investigation or prosecuting a criminal case. Steele said Constant showed quiet courage in her pursuit of justice against Cosby. He says her courage, her resilience in the face of horror, and unfounded attacks upon her and her family have been so inspiring to all of us. It was the second trial Cosby faced for the charges. His first trial in 2017 ended in a mistrial due to a deadlocked jury. Some members of the jury took issues with the lack of physical evidence of the crime. Tom Mesereau, Cosby's lawyer, told reporters he will appeal the verdict. He says, "We are very disappointed by the verdict. We don't think Mr. Cosby is guilty of anything. The fight is not over." Cosby faces similar accusations from more than 50 women from incidents dating back to the mid-1960s. The judge in the Constant case allowed 5 of those women to testify on behalf of the prosecution. In closing arguments earlier this week, Cosby's attorneys took aim at the credibility of Constant and the other women who testified. Mesereau called Constant a pathological liar, and the other witnesses failed starlets. Montgomery County Prosecutor Kristen Feeden took aim at Cosby's wholesome image, referencing his role as Cliff Huxtable on The Cosby Show. She accused him of using that image to take advantage of women. She said during closing arguments, "This man is nothing like the image he played on television. He is nothing like America's dad." Lily Bernard, one of Cosby's accusers who attended the trial, told reporters after his conviction that she felt her faith in humanity was restored. She said the verdict was not just a victory for his accusers. Bernard said, "It's also a victory for all sexual assault survivors. I thank the jury so much for positioning themselves on the right side of history." She credits the #MeToo movement for giving voice to sexual assault victims and showing that, quote, "women are worthy of being believed." Paramount has announced plans to develop a sequel to their box office horror hit A Quiet Place. Paramount Chairman and CEO Jim Giannopoulos made the announcement during the studio's CinemaCon presentation Wednesday. Giannopoulos gave no further details about the sequel, including if director and star John Krasinski will be returning. Krasinski starred in the film alongside his real-life wife, Emily Blunt. A Quiet Place from writers Brian Woods and Scott Beck follows a family forced to remain as quiet as possible in order to avoid being killed by monstrous creatures. Woods and Beck, when asked about a sequel to the first film, said that they have plenty of material left over, the Hollywood Reporter noted. A Quiet Place topped the North American box office in its first weekend, earning $50 million, and again in its third weekend with $22 million. The film has earned a total of $213 million worldwide and counting. Krasinski, best known for his time on The Office, recently signed on to direct sci-fi thriller Life on Mars for Paramount, where he's reteaming with the producers of A Quiet Place, including Michael Bay, Andrew Form, and Brad Fuller. George R.R. Martin says The Winds of Winter won't be coming in 2018. The 69-year-old author announced plans in a blog post Wednesday to publish Fire and Blood, A History of the House Targaryen, instead of the highly anticipated 6th book in a Song of Ice and Fire series. Martin wrote, "No, winter is not coming, not in 2018. At least, you're going to have to keep waiting for The Winds of Winter." He says, "You will, however, be able to return to Westeros this year," referencing to the fictional continent where Fire and Blood and the Song of Ice and Fire series takes place. Martin describes Fire and Blood as a monumental history of the Targaryen kings of Westeros. The book will cover all the Targaryen kinds from Aegon I, the Conqueror, to the region of Aegon III, the Dragonbane, along with their wives, wars, siblings, children, friends, rivals, laws, travels, and sundry other matters. Fire and Blood will be the first volume in Martin's Targaryen history. The book is 989 pages and will debut in hardcover November 20th. Martin said, "I do want to stress, indeed, I want to shout that Fire and Blood is not a novel, this is not a traditional narrative, and was never intended to be. Very well, let's call this one imaginary history instead." Martin is best known for A Song of Ice and Fire, which was adapted as the HBO series Game of Thrones. The book series consists of Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, A Storm of Swords, A Feast for the Crows, and the most recent novel, A Dance with Dragons, which was published in 2011. Disney announced that production started on a new animated Star Wars series titled Resistance that will air on the Disney Channel starting in the fall. The series, which will feature an anime-inspired art style, is created by Lucasfilm and animation veteran Dave Filoni, who previously helped create animated programs Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Resistance will take place before the events of the 2015 film The Force Awakens, including a young pilot named Kazuda Zeno, who is tasked by the Resistance to spy on the growing First Order. It will feature film stars Oscar Isaac and Gwendoline Christie, reprising their roles as Pope Dameron and Captain Phasma, respectively. Droid BB-8 will also be featured. Disney released a logo for Resistance on Twitter that featured BB-8 and a yellow spaceship. Christopher Sean, Susie McGrath, Scott Lawrence, Mina Velasco, Josh Brenner, Donald Faison, Bobby Monahan, Jim Rash, and Rachel Butera make up the rest of the voice cast. Filoni said in a statement, "The idea of Star Wars Resistance came out of my interest in World War II aircraft and fighter pilots. My grandfather was a pilot, and my uncle flew and restored planes, so that's been a big influence on me. There's a history of high-speed racing in Star Wars, and I think we've captured that sense of excitement in an anime-inspired style, which is something the entire team has been wanting to do for a long time." Resistance is the latest Star Wars television series in development following the announcement that filmmaker and actor Jon Favreau is writing and executive producing a live-action Star Wars TV program that will appear on Disney's upcoming streaming service. Prince Harry has asked his brother Prince William to be his best man at his upcoming wedding to Meghan Markle on May 19th. Kensington Palace made the announcement that Harry has chosen William on Twitter alongside photos of the siblings together from throughout the years, and including one featuring the pair holding lightsabers from Star Wars. Harry served as best man during William's marriage to Kate Middleton in 2011. Kensington Palace said of William accepting his brother's invitation, "The Duke of Cambridge is honored to have been asked and is very much looking forward to supporting his brother at St. George's Chapel, Windsor on May 19th. Harry and Markle became engaged in November after more than a year of dating. The British royal proposed to the American actress as they were cooking dinner during a quiet night at home. The couple recently made headlines for honoring fallen Australian and New Zealand service members in observance of Asnak Day in London. William recently welcomed his third child with Middleton, a boy, on Monday. William and Middleton are already parents to Prince George and Princess Charlotte. Nickelodeon has announced a reboot of the game show Double Dare that will premiere with 40 new episodes starting this summer. Double Dare was originally aired on Nickelodeon from 1986 to 1993, featuring Mark Summers as host, and involved two teams competing against each other by answering trivia questions and taking part in messy physical challenges that used the network's signature slime and food items. The team with the highest score at the end would then be allowed to go through an obstacle course that involved a human hamster wheel and a gigantic mouth, among other obstacles. The new Double Dare will feature the physical challenges, obstacles course, and appearances by celebrities. Nickelodeon posted a Twitter retrospective of the game show that featured selected moments from the show's original run. Summers said in a statement, "Double Dare was the show for a particular generation. For the kids of the 80s and 90s, they laughed and learned and got messy in the process. 30 years later, I believe it's still the gold standard." Nickelodeon brought back Double Dare for a live edition of the game at the San Diego Comic-Con in 2016. The show was briefly revived in 2000 as Double Dare 2000. Karlie Kloss is giving fans a rare glimpse of her ride-or-die boyfriend. The 25-year-old model shared a new picture Wednesday on Instagram with her beau businessman Joshua Kirshner from their trip to Jordan. The snapshot shows Claus and Kirshner sitting in a dune buggy in the Wadi Rum Desert. Kirshner rests his hands on Klaus's knees as he gives a smile for the camera. Klaus captioned the post, adding a heart emoji, "My ride or die." Claus and Kirshner were accompanied by friend and singer Ellie Goulding, as seen in another photo on Klaus's account. Model wrote, "Golden Hour." Claus and Kirshner have been traveling in the Middle East for the past week. Kirshner shared a picture of Claus Sunday from their visit to Israel. He captioned the snapshot, "Sunday in Israel." Kirshner is the brother of Jared Kirshner, Ivanka Trump's husband and senior advisor to President Donald Trump. Kirshner and Claus have been dating since 2012, but largely keeps their relationship out of the public eye. Claus said in the summer issue of Porter magazine, "It's not like I've ever wanted to be so secretive about my private life." She explains, "I know in my life what really matters to me. I'm not trying to hide that from the world. I just really like having a more private life. I've got nothing to hide, though." Nature documentary host Steve Irwin, best known to his fans as the Crocodile Hunter, received a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Thursday. Irwin, an Australian zookeeper and TV star who died in 2006 after a stingray pierced his heart, was remembered as a dedicated conversationalist who spent his life exploring the natural world. Irwin's wife, Terry Irwin, said, according to Variety, whether it was heights or the depths of diving, he really had no fear. "I couldn't hold a candle to how adventurous Steve was. He found life intoxicating, and he was just in awe of every living creature." Irwin's two children also attended the event, Bindi Irwin and Robert Irwin. Bindi Irwin remembered her father as a family man who made an impact doing what he loved. She told Today, "It's been over 10 years now, and the grief is always going to be there, but I think now it's moving forward and remembering everything Dad worked so hard for. And this is a celebration of his life, and it's always going to be emotional, but I think these are just happy and proud tears. We miss him so much." Kim Zolciak's ex-girlfriend Tracy Young says the television personality is homophobic. Young, a DJ and music producer, slammed Zolciak in an interview with Page Six published Wednesday after her relationship with the 39-year-old reality star was brought up during Part 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 10 reunion. Young said she's a liar because she denied what went on and the reunion brought it all back, referencing to how Zolciak's co-star Candy Burris discussed Zolciak and Young dating. The DJ added, "Kim and I were in a relationship for about 8 months. She said she wanted to marry me. She asked me to have a baby with her." Zolciak had dismissed her relationship with Young in a blog post in 2010, calling the DJ a liar and a fame-obsessed coat-tailed writer. Young called out Zolciak in tweets Monday after the reunion aired Sunday on Bravo. She wrote, "FYI, as per hashtag Real Housewives of Reunion, I'm a receiver at Candy and Nene Leaks at Andy. Apparently, at Kim Zolciak has blocked me, so please relay the message. Hashtag Kim Zolciak Berman is such a liar." Zolciak married NFL player Croy Berman in November 2011. She shares 4 children, Croy, Cash, Kaya, and Kane, with Berman, and is also mom to daughters Brielle and Ariana. Lori Loughlin congratulated her new dad, John Stamos, on his son's birth. The 53-year-old actress sent her Fuller House co-star a sweet video Wednesday after Stamos welcomed son Billy with wife Caitlin McCuff. The clip shows Loughlin and several pals, including singer Trisha Paytas, teasing Stamos and offering their congratulations. Loughlin says, hey, Mr. Stamos, we all want to come and meet Billy, but see you're home with a newborn baby, and I'm hanging out with the cool crowd." Stamos shared the video on his Instagram account. The 54-year-old actor captioned the post, "Can't wait for Billy to meet his great-great-aunt Becky and clan. Love at Lori Lell, at David D. Broderick, at Olivia Jade, at Bella, and especially at Trisha Paytas." McCuff gave birth to Billy on April 10th. Stamos teared up about fatherhood in an interview on air with Ryan Seacrest last week, saying parenthood has been a, quote, beautiful experience thus far. Star told host Ryan Seacrest, "It's so beautiful having a baby. You have to do it, Ryan." He says, "People are probably sick of me saying I've always wanted a kid, but it just happened. I guess I was waiting for the perfect wife, which I have." Loughlin and Stamos are known for playing Aunt Becky and Uncle Jesse on Full House and its spin-off, Fuller House. Fuller House was renewed for a 4th season on Netflix in January. Chrissy Teigen says her second pregnancy is harder than her first. The 32-year-old model and television personality discussed her pregnancy and 2-year-old daughter Luna in interviews Wednesday ahead of the birth of her son with husband singer John Legend. She told E! News while attending the City Harvest 35th anniversary gala with Legend, "You realize your second pregnancy is harder because you have a kid already. Legend explained you have to divide your energy between raising a kid and carrying one as well. Legend told People he's been helping Teigen by cooking more of their meals at home. The 39-year-old singer says, I always love to cook, but I do it more now because she needs to sit down more. Teigen jokingly correct, lay down. Teigen and Legend confirmed in January that they're expecting a baby boy. The couple celebrated daughter Luna's second birthday this month. Teigen said of Luna while speaking to Us Weekly at the gala, she says, new things every day, and we are like, where did that come from? And she added, we're definitely both toddler people, and we like talking back to them and interacting and being sassy back to them. We like that kind of relationship, and now we can totally do that. Cardi B is canceling a number of tour dates due to her pregnancy. The 25-year-old rapper said in an Instagram video Wednesday that Broccoli City Festival will mark her last performance before the birth of her first child with boyfriend Migos rapper Offset. She explained in the clip, Broccoli Fest will be my last performance for a little while and everything because, shorty keep growing. Cardi B told fans it may seem like she is moving around well, but said she can barely breathe in reality. The star said, I want to thank you for understanding. I'll be back for the Bruno Mars tour. Cardi B will take the stage Saturday, April 28th at the Broccoli City Festival in Washington, D.C. She'll miss several shows in May and a number of concerts in July before joining Mars on the final leg of his 24K Magic Tour, which kicks off September 7th in Denver, Colorado. The rapper confirmed her pregnancy during an appearance this month on Saturday Night Live. She said in an interview with the Ellen DeGeneres show last week that Offset has picked their baby's name. The star said of the name, it's almost tricky, but when it comes out, it's like, ah. Ariana Grande will join Jimmy Fallon on May 1st for a full hour of The Tonight Show, where she will perform her new single, No Tears Left to Cry. Fallon announced Grande's late-night takeover Wednesday on Instagram by posting a video of himself singing a parody version of No Tears Left to Cry that includes lyrics about the singer's upcoming appearance. Fallon wrote Tuesday, May 1st, that Ariana Grande is here for the whole show, talk sketches, and a few surprises, plus the broadcast debut of her new single, No Tears Left to Cry, hashtag Ariana on Fallon. No Tears Left to Cry is Grande's first single following the Manchester terrorist attack that took place at one of her concerts in May 2017. A suicide bomber killed 22 people and injured others at the show in Great Britain. Grande was previously on a months-long Twitter hiatus that started on New Year's Eve. The pop star returned to social media to announce the release of No Tears Left to Cry in April. Grande is the latest singer to take over The Tonight Show after Cardi B co-hosted the program in April. Shawn Mendes unveiled on Twitter that his upcoming self-titled third studio album will arrive on May 25th. Mendes made the announcement Wednesday alongside the cover art for Shawn Mendes' The Album, which features the singer's face coming apart to reveal flowers. Mendes also released on Twitter the 14-track listing for the project. The songs include previous release singles In My Blood and Lost in Japan, along with Like to Be You featuring Julia Michaels and You featuring Khalid, among others. Shawn Mendes' The Album follows the release of 2016's Illuminate, which reached number 1 on the Billboard 200 albums charts. It was recently announced that Mendes will perform at the 2018 Billboard Music Awards. The show will also feature performances by Camila Cabello, Dua Lipa, and the South Korean boy band BTS. Avicii's family implies that the star and Swedish DJ died by suicide in a new statement Thursday. Rolling Stone magazine reported Avicii, born Tom Berling, died of an apparent suicide after the DJ's family suggests he took his own life. The family said in a statement he really struggled with thoughts about meaning, life, and happiness. He could not go on any longer. He wanted to find peace. Avicii's family described the star as an overachieving perfectionist who traveled and worked hard at a pace that led to extreme stress. The family said, our beloved Tim was a seeker, a fragile artistic soul searching for answers to essential questions. They added, Tim was not made for the business machine he found himself in. He was a sensitive guy who loved his fans but shunned the spotlight. Tim, you will be forever beloved and sadly missed. Avicii's family had issued an initial statement Monday following the Swedish DJ's death last week at the age of 28. The family said on Monday, we would like to thank you for the support and the loving words about our son and brother. We are so grateful for everyone who loved Tim's music and have precious memories of his songs. Avicii was found dead in his hotel room on April 20th in Oman. His official cause of death has not been announced, although Variety said a police report is expected in the coming days. Taylor Swift posted on Instagram a behind-the-scenes rehearsal photo of herself getting ready for her upcoming Reputation Stadium tour that begins in May. Swift said, 13 days till Reputation Stadium tour, alongside a black and white photo that features herself dancing and sweating while wearing an all-black outfit and combat boots. Swift also announced on her Instagram story that she will be unveiling a new fact about the tour every day until it begins. Swift, for the first fact, said that she will be performing 10 songs on stage that hails from her older albums. She says, really excited about playing stuff from Reputation. I'm excited about playing stuff that is from previous albums too. And just check back because every day I'm going to be posting something about the tour, just something that's going on, something at rehearsal. So just check here and I will see you in 13 days. Swift previously announced that Camila Cabello and Charlie XCX will be joining her on the tour as the opening acts. The tour is set to kick off May 8th in Glendale, Arizona at the University of Phoenix Stadium before wrapping up October 6th in Arlington, Texas at the AT&T Stadium. Swift will also be performing in cities including Seattle, Denver, Chicago, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Toronto, Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans, and Houston, among others. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1993, the DA announces negligence caused Brandon Lee's death. As a nearly month-long police investigation drawed to a close, North Carolina District Attorney Jerry Spivey announced on this date in 1993 that the death of 28-year-old Brandon Lee on March 31st of that same year during filming of The Crow was due to the negligence on the part of the film's crew, not foul play. Lee was the son of the martial artist legend Bruce Lee, whose performance in Enter the Dragon in 1973 catapulted him to fame in America and Europe. Already a huge star in Hong Kong thanks to such movies as Fist of Fury and Way of the Dragon, Bruce Lee would not live to see the film's release. On July 20th, 1973, he died at the age of 32 after being found unconscious in his Hong Kong home. His death was attributed to a brain edema or excess of fluid. Controversy swirled about the incident and rumors persisted that he might have been murdered by gangsters in the Hong Kong film industry or by a drug gang. Brandon Lee made his own acting debut at the age of 21 in the TV movie Kung Fu the Movie, 1986, based on the 1970 series Kung Fu. He starred in one Hong Kong action film, Legacy of Rage, in 1986, and made his American big screen debut opposite Dolph Lundgren in the cop buddy action movie Showdown in Little Tokyo, 1991. In early 1993, Lee landed the lead role of Eric Draven in The Crow, based on the popular underground gothic comic book series about a rock musician who returns from the dead to avenge his and his fiance's murders. Filming The Crow began in February 1993, and around midnight on the morning of March 31st, the cast and crew were filming a scene in Carolco Studios in Wilmington, North Carolina. As Lee entered a room, another actor shot him from a distance of 15 to 20 feet. Though the gun was supposed to have been loaded with blanks, police later found that a .44 bullet entered Lee's abdomen and lodged in his spine, fatally wounding him. He died in the hospital hours later of internal injuries, blood loss, and heart failure. As the police investigation began, little was certain about how Lee died, and rumors circulated that the film set was jinxed. There had been a series of accidents, or that his death had been ployed by some unknown enemy. In the end, the truth was far less sinister, but no less tragic. Hollowed-out cartridges are often used to film close-ups of a gun being loaded. The dummy cartridges are then supposed to be removed and replaced with blanks before being fired. The police investigation into Lee's death concluded that the tip of one of the cartridge's bullets broke off from the cartridge and lodged in the gun, then fired at Lee along with the blank. DA Spivey eventually decided against bringing charges against Crowvision, the production company making the movie. Though Lee was to have appeared in nearly all of the scenes left to be shot, the filmmakers completed The Crow using another actor as a double and a good deal of digital technology. The movie went on to make $50 million at the box office. And that is your entertainment report for Friday, April 27th, 2018. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app. Search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Everyone have a great weekend. Good night, and God bless you all.